road trip. Does this look familiar? This is the great state of Montana. Yep, great state of Montana. And you know what? It's smoky over here too. It is 94 degrees today. I mean, it's hot and it's late. And I remember when we first took this drive, which leads into Idaho where we live. I mean, this is not too far down the road from actually where we live. We just fell in love. We fell in love. These mountains are just, they're huge and they're rugged. And that river was dazzling, sparkling, sapphire, turquoise. We've never seen anything like it before. And I just knew, I'm like, I want to be here. I want to be here for the rest of my life. I want to be here for the rest of my life. There's just something about it. And I love coming over here to Montana. And actually, this is a side trip. It's not going to be a long trip. But I'm going over to Lake Coconoosa. Very, very popular place. I shouldn't say popular, because when I say popular, there's probably like 5 boats on the whole lake. It's huge. But Coconoosa is kind of a half and half. Half United States and half Canadian. And it's a beautiful place. It's going to be 96 tomorrow too. So packed up the car again, and no doggies. I always miss them, but I couldn't bring them because I have the kayak, and when I have the kayak, they don't fit in the kayak. I need like a little side cart for the kayak. But isn't that pretty so far? All right, road trip again. I'm glad you friends are enjoying the road trip. So the drive around Lake Coconoosa, and that's where I'm actually right next to the lake now. This is the road that parallels with the lake. The lake's out over there. It's gorgeous. I've road biked this several times. This is really, really pretty. But look at, there's still smoke. I guess in Montana they're having a lot of fires too. It is as dry as a tinder box. Yeah. And I'm eating too much. Yeah, eating too much. Remember the blueberries? So I always stock up on food when I go. Well, right now I already had one of my nectarines, so one is missing. See, and then I've got this big. See this container here? That's full of nuts. Bad move, Starry. Buying a monster container of different types of nuts. Sometimes I have no willpower. And this is what happens when I drive, and now there's no radio, right? Because we're in the wilderness and there's no radio stations here. And if there's music, I'll sing. Woo! Yeah, I sing. I like to sing. And then that prevents me from eating. But when there's no radio, that means I gotta eat. Which means I ate my nectarine already, and I ate a handful of nuts. What else did I have? Oh, I had 4 Jolly Rancher, gotta get rid of those candies. I gotta stop with the Jolly Rancher. That's just pure poison. Pure poison. They're still in the car. And then what I do, I reach for them and I eat them. Sugar gut. Yeah, sugar gut is poison. Oh, look at the lake. Music. Coldplay. Love Coldplay. Okay, the smoke. This is so bad. I tried to roll down the windows, and the smell. This is terrible. Mr. Hilder, before I left, said, you know, there's a lot of fires in Montana. I thought, oh, okay, yeah, okay. Yep, I'll be fine. But I tell you what, I just rolled down the windows. Look at the smoke. This is terrible. I don't know where the fires are, but, and I just saw a Forest Service truck, and it looked like one of their fire trucks. And look at the sun. When it's orange like that, when it's orange, that's from the fires. Yeah, because of the smoke, it turns the sky, the sun, a different color. Look at that. Oh, yeah, I can smell the smoke. That's bad. Wow. Smoke was all the way down to the lake. I think since it's 6 o'clock on the head, I'm going to paddle here. It looks like there's a little tiny chop on the water. Oh, yeah, there is. But luckily I've got that big old sea kayak, so it can take on a lot of big waves. That's why I bring it. So it is so hot. So usually before I go paddling, I make sure I get into the water first. It is, man, it's hot out here. And tomorrow's gonna be 96. Yikes. Well, the sun is already kind of disappearing behind those tiny mountains. They're tiny, but so pretty. And it's hot out here. I dived in before I even got in the kayak, and it is warm. But the winds on a lake like this can shift so fast, and you have no place to beach because you have this. Now, there's a reason why I choose to bring this kayak with me instead of, say, my C1, which is made out of Kevlar. It's very fragile. It's very tippy. This is an outfitting sea kayak. It can actually handle up to 300 pounds of gear. You can see the cockpit and all of this stuff here. It can handle big waves, and it's very safe. So when the winds change and say big waves come, I don't have to worry about finding a place to park myself for safety, because this kayak, this Avatar Perception, is really made for the sea, or say Lake Michigan. Big water with big loads. It's got a big cockpit. And that way, I can safely paddle on a lake like this with no shoreline, just granite, like we're seeing right here. See, I'm prepared, and this is one of the ways that I'm prepared. Choose your vessel, your watercraft wisely. Think about where you're going, the type of water you're going to be on, and choose your watercraft wisely. This thing is a tank, and that's why I can paddle alone for miles and miles and miles and not worry about the wind, the weather, the waves, the type of shoreline I have to deal with. See, I'm sounding pretty smart tonight, ain't I? It's because I've been doing this for a long time, and there is a method to my so-called madness. I'm really not out here by myself in harm's way. I am well prepared, and the craft that you use is part of that preparation. So pretty cool, huh? Okay, I'm gonna keep paddling. That was just a Starry FYI.